Okay everyone, welcome back. We're continuing on. We're going to start with the other tab. So we click here. Now the other tab will allow us to do a couple of things. Like if you're a paladin and you have a mount, or you want a horse or hireling, you can buy any of that stuff here. Now let's say that I need a horse for my for Bob the Ranger. I want a heavy combat trained horse, so we'll just add that in. I also would like, so there's a monkey for, I could take these as pets too if you want. There's no real difference there. But let's say I want a monkey or something. I want a monkey for a pet. You can also do hirelings here, so let's get a hireling. And we'll close it down. I'm having a little trouble with my system there. Okay, so you see they'll show up here. Now I want to go back to the gear and show you. See, now I can give it to a hero, and everything that I brought up on the others tab is there. So I could move this directly to my horse if I wanted, or directly to the monkey or the hireling or whatever. So this is how you can get more people into your portfolio. Now when I save Bob the Ranger, all of these things will save under Bob the Ranger, under the portfolio called Bob the Ranger. So anytime I open that, I'll have all of these. This hireling, though, could be a character unto himself. You can actually go in to each one of these. I'll show you real quick. Okay, now here's the hireling that I just hired. He's a character and he has all the exact same stuff. I can just go in there and do what I want. Now to get back to your main character, all you do is click on that and he'll go back. And you can also have all these show up on a dashboard, which I'll go through all these menus later, so not to worry about that. Moving on to the personal. Here we have just basic information about the character. I can adjust his age. I can make his hair a certain color, his eyes a certain color, his skin. Maybe he's pale because he stays out of the sun. Background details. I can just add whatever I want. Gallery, I can click here to add a picture. I can also load pictures in, and I can talk about that later if folks are really interested or not. I can add more languages here. Let's just say he knows that one and Draconic. The permanent adjustment down here, this comes into play very similar to the adjusting condition tab. Let's say for some reason I receive a boon from my GM or something, and my attack bonus is always +1. So I'm just adding the attack bonus ability at the moment. I'll close that down. As you can see that it's a 0, and I'll just call it a boon. And if I add this, his attack bonus, you watch it, it should go up here. You see his attack has gone up. I'll go take it back down. See? So we'll leave it at 0 for now, but he has this ability, and it's used so you can make these permanent abilities like that. Journal. Moving on, we have a couple things here. We have our experience points, how much gold we have. You can actually create a journal entry just by clicking here. It's basically a notepad. You can add in whatever information you want. You can title it, put the game date. Here will be actually today's date that you do this, so you can just play around with that. And if you want a new one, just click and a new one will be added on right afterwards. Of course, we can just delete it if we wish as well. Here's where I enter an experience. Let's say I did an adventure. I have 1,000 experience. I can just add it in there, and it'll be added to my total. So you now have 16,000 experience points. Here is how you add gold or whatever. So let's say during that adventure, I received 100 gold. Now you should have this gold go up to 281. There you go, 281. Now if you spend gold, you just put a minus sign. So minus 100 gold, and this should drop down to 181. See, so that's how you can add and remove gold. That's pretty much on that one. So let's jump over to the specials tab. This is a listing of all of the special abilities that the character has, whether they're from feats, like we have a cleave feat. Just because he's a second level cleric, he gets an aura. He's got traits. He gets this for the class again for being a cleric. Let's see, does he have any? Okay, for a ranger, he gets the terrain. He gets the track +1, wild empathy. So this is just a list of all his special abilities that he has. Going over to the in-play is similar to adjust, but basically we have our hit points here. If you take damage, I can list the number of hit points here. Let's say I take 10 points of damage. I click on my little skull and that applies the damage. So this 51 should change. Goes down to 41. If I'm healed, I can put a number in there. Let's say I get healed 5. I use my little plus sign here and I go up 5. I can also remove that last one if I made a mistake. Maybe I really wanted to add 7 in there. He's healed 7. Now if I want to go back to, restore to all of them, I just click there and it just takes me back to whatever the highest is. Down here is telling me I have this ability I can use 6 times a day, and this allows me to track how many I've used. So I've used 1, 2, 3, and I can just track those. Again, I can just take them all back to full by doing that. Here we have some activated abilities. A power attack is a common one for fighter classes. Let's say I want that power attack on all the time, or whenever I want to use it, all I do is click it, and the effects are cascaded throughout the character. As you can see, the damage here goes from a +4 to +8 because it has +4, and the attack goes down by 2. Same thing with combat expertise if we want to do, and you can just leave those on anytime you want. Adjust is similar. This is for applying abilities that occur all the time. For instance, if you're a spellcaster, and let's say every time I go into combat, I cast Bark Skin. So I'm going to add Bark Skin. That's going to add +2 to my armor class, and I can remove it if I want. You can see my armor class is right here. It will change by 2 when I remove it. I can also mouse over and it tells me where it's from. See, because a Bark Skin adds 2 natural. Conferred ability, let's say you have a bard in the party who does maybe, we'll say courage, does their little courage song all the time. So, in fact, we have a bard in the party that I play with, so I leave a lot of the bard stuff on my character, and then I can just click on it, the appropriate one when we need it. Other adjustments, for whatever reason, maybe you want to, maybe his armor class for some reason, again, is increased. We want to increase it by 3 just because we really like him. So we can do it there, and we can just add and remove as we want. And of course, if you totally remove it, it gets rid of it altogether. So feel free to play around with those. As you can see, there's quite a few things that you can add in here based on what you want. And anytime you choose one of these things, the effects are cascaded through the entire character. So that's always handy. Condition is similar to adjust, but these are known events that can happen, or they're known things that can occur to you, such as you can be shaken. So if I just click on the shaken, everything cascades through my character, and I can put in the duration that I want. If I'm caught flat-footed, I can do that, and it will enable, cascade again through the whole character. These are some things up here that are common. Let's say if you're flanking an enemy, I can just choose flanking. Again, cascade goes through if I'm under partial cover. Whatever the case happens to be, you can, and these are just the ones that are provided for you. Now under the Spells tab, this is a listing of all your spells. Sometimes you can get quite long, and also your spell-like abilities. So here it's telling you these are 0 levels, so you can do them anytime you want. Here I can track how many I only have 1 a day, so it'll only let me do 1. So once I cast it, I can put that, and it'll gray out, letting me know that I can't cast it again. Spell-like abilities, here I can do it 4 times a day, so I can do that a couple times. It's just for this is just strictly for tracking purposes, and that's all. So that's all the tabs that we have. I'd like to go back and look at the menus, but I think we'll stop there, and we'll go through the menus after this, and we'll see you back in the next one.